BBC Television presents...
Hancock.
Looks like COVID's back, Sid. Thanks, Hancock. That's a good idea. I'll watch it. I missed it first time round. What channel is it on? No, the coronavirus, Sid. You must remember it. East Team Council has sent us a copy of their new Snoopers Charter. We can expect a lot of customers because of that little beauty. It's lockdown part 2 and there's people queuing up to break it. It's bread and butter time, Sid, and that one's going to put jam on the table. So, what people have been snooped on then, Hancock? If you just hang on a minute, Sid, I'm in the middle of compiling a list of all the complaints made by local snitches, peeping toms, wires and snoopers about anybody not following the coronavirus rules, in particular, the new rule of 6. The rule of 6? Nobody told me about that. I'd better warn Barbara Windsor. No, 6, the number, Sid. Don't worry, your oats are still safe. It's just that you can't have as much oats as usual. You're only allowed to have 5 friends. So, you'll be all right then. Ha ha, yes, very funny, but don't mock, Sid. I've got lots of friends, or rather I had lots of friends, but most of them died in the war. Heroes they were. Have you heard about the day me and my band of brothers invaded Germany? Yes, I've heard the story. I've written it down as a matter of fact, just in case you try and tell it again. I haven't got time now. Councillor McCarthy will be around with our first customer in a minute. Hark, I can hear them coming up the garden path.
Oh, pleased to meet you, Inspector Hancock. It's Josephine McCarthy. I'd like you to meet Mr. Cross, our first COVID criminal, who tried to ride the second wave. Didn't you, Mr. Cross?
Good evening. Don't worry, I've come prepared. I've brought me chequebook. I don't want to cause a fuss or nothing. I've got plenty of money.
That's what we like to see, someone who comes prepared. Our motto is, you're fined, we're fine. Yes, Mr. Cross, according to the new Snoopers Charter, that's like the old Magna Charter, you understand. You owe us £340 for the first offence of breaking the rule of 6. That's number 6 on the list of rules on the COVID Charter Wave 2.
I don't understand what you're talking about. Are you Swedish or something?
No, sir. I'm British through and through. The Snoopers Charter is as English as it gets. It's every man's duty to sneak on his neighbour. You've been seeing more than 5 people, haven't you, Cross? And boy, have people been letting us know.
More than 5 people? Yes, I've been seeing thousands of them.
You don't do half measures, do you, Mr. Cross? We'd have been happy with 6. Still, there's no stopping some people, is there?
I can't help it. I'm very popular. People keep flocking to my door. I can't turn them away, can I?
Attaboy, Mr. Cross. You're really entering into the spirit of things, aren't you? By thousands, are we talking low thousands or high thousands? It's important because we can open a bigger bank account with a higher interest rate.
Well, Sergeant James, I already have 673 cases logged by several independent witnesses. We have a network of squealers already in place out there as I speak.
Would you check my maths, Sid? I make that £20,492 and 50p.
How much? I haven't got that sort of money. If I'd known, I would have settled for triplets. I can give you the 50p and I'll pay the rest in instalments of £1.
What do you mean by triplets, Cross? I don't quite understand.
It's quite simple. I'm writing a book on sextuplets, you see, and all the sextuplets, they've been visiting me, and I've been filming them and writing their stories. It's going to be a bestseller. I'm sure you'll find it interesting.
It's all very heartwarming, Mr. Cross. It's just a shame you're breaking the law, isn't it, Inspector Hancock? I did try and warn him to do one on puppies instead.
Don't worry, Mr. Cross. I think we can give you a discount as you're a bulk offender. How much you got?
Now, let me see. I've got £57.36.
So why on earth did you bring your chequebook? You could have put that in your pocket. You do understand that it's going to be nowhere near enough. When there's a set of sextuplets, and then you, that makes 8. It's simple arithmetic. You're only allowed to meet in groups of 6, including yourself.
But it's already too late. I put the advert in Rusk's Weekly last month. They know where I live now, and they just turn up. I can't turn them away, can I? I've got a heart of gold.
Well, Mr. Cross, you could hire a bouncer. A baby bouncer. What about a compromise? You charge them £340, the cost of your fine, to be in the book, and you give the money to us.
Well, what am I going to tell them the money's for?
Tell them paper. There's a lot of paper goes in the books, ain't there? How about ink? Tell them there's a lot of ink.
But that would be dishonest. Sextuplets are my friends. Did you know there are only 673 sets of them in the world? I used to be a sextuplet.
Used to be? What happened?
I'm afraid it's all rather sad. As it happens, my mother's unlucky number was 6, and I was the 6th and last child to be delivered. So she swapped me at the hospital for a washing machine and an hairdryer.
That is sad. You poor chap. I mean chap. Now, about the 20,000 nicker.
I simply haven't got it, Inspector Hancock. However, I'll tell you what I can do. I could sell some of my gifts that the sextuplets have given me.
Gifts? So what are we talking about here?
Nothing much. Just a few baubles, trinkets, you know, like gold dummies, silver spoons, jewel-encrusted teething rings, Fabergé eggs, you know, the things that people give babies. As soon as I tell the other sextuplets about my story, about how I was abandoned as a baby, they won't stop giving me things.
Fabergé eggs, eh? Well, that might cover part of the fine, I suppose. We'll send someone over to value it, Mr. Cross.
I do hope you're not taking Mr. Cross for a ride. Are you, Sergeant James?
No, it's all right, Mrs. McCarthy. Sid's only joking. He's the comedian on the team. Ah, but wait a minute. I've got an idea to allow you to continue, Mr. Cross. You get each of the sextuplets to roll a dice, and the one who throws a 6 has to be interviewed separately, so there will only ever be 5 of you meeting at any one time.
Ooh, thank you, Inspector Hancock. You're a genius. Why didn't I think of that? It's an honour to meet someone as intelligent as you.
All right, Cross, I'll lend you my pair of lucky dice.
Well, as long as everybody's happy, I suppose it's all right. And the conditions of the Snoopers' Charter are met. I suppose the council are happy.
So, who's next to face the wrath of Hancock's heroes then, Sid? It's one of those idiot protesters from Extinction Rebellion. I've got some super glue and we're going to stick him with a charge. That will teach him. So, remind me, Sid, what are that lot protesting about? I'm thinking about starting my own protest movement. Protesting about all those flaming protest movements. Change of climate. Sid, I'm already thinking about it. I've tentatively booked 2 weeks in Mallorca. It's roasting out there. Where are you going on your holidays? Never mind. These Extinction Rebellion protesters are causing the police a lot of problems. They have adopted a new technique of going all floppy when they are arrested. That reminds me, Sid, floppy like you were last week when you had 8 pints of Bishop's Nipple. And the ale was off. Anyway, Hancock, we'll find out in a minute from Mr. Slack, who's coming with his solicitor.
Good morning, I'm a Mr. Slack, and I'm a victim of police brutality.
Hang on a minute there, that's not what we've been told. The police say you've been causing a disturbance, and when they try to remove you, you went all limp and floppy.
It's not true, Inspector Hancock. My client wasn't a part of the Extinction Rebellion protest. He just accidentally got his foot stuck to the pavement when he trod on some chewing gum and couldn't get free. It wasn't super glue. They kept pulling him, but the gum just stretched and stretched until it hit Mr. Fit in the face and it knocked him out.
Getting knocked out by a bit of chewing gum can hardly be classified as police brutality.
It was an hard piece. Anyway, the policeman started hitting me with a French stick because I couldn't stand up.
Yes, the only reason my client went floppy was he was nearly unconscious. It was definitely police brutality.
Let me get a handle on this. So the police hit Mr. Slack with a French stick.
That's correct. He left his truncheon in the bakers by mistake. It was all he had.
So after all this, did they manage to get you up?
Eventually they did, but they accused me of being floppy. But I wasn't. I'm naturally floppy, I suppose. I told the policeman it's not my fault I've got a lazy thigh. And then he hit me again with the French stick.
I don't know. What's this country coming to, Sid? You can't walk along the pavement without stepping into chewing gum and God knows what else. I ask you, did those feet in ancient times walk upon England's mountains green? Well, I don't know, but I hope you get her off the flaming pavement.
Oh, good, you're on our side, Mr. Hancock, because we want to sue the police. So could you arrange a meeting with the judge so we can get a ruling on compensation?
How much?
We hope to get about 30,000.
No, us I mean. How much do we get? Order, order. Let's get on with it. I've got 3 cases this morning and I've got a migraine coming on. Where's my sherry? I'm sorry to hear about the migraine, Your Honour, but I would humbly beseech your worship to hear a complaint from a man about some treatment he received from the police constabulary last week. Oh God, it can't be. You again? You're not sleeping here overnight, are you? That's vagrancy, you know. Next minute you'll be trying to sell me a copy of the big issue. So is that wretched Mr. Sludge still here too? No, this is an entirely different case. Mr. Slack, he's been a victim of police violence. What on earth's going on? You seem to be here permanently. Ex-Inspector Stopcock, isn't it? Have they given you a job here or something? I only have to turn my back and up you pop like a rabbit out of a rabbit hole. No, I'm not a rabbit, Your Honour. I'm a private policeman. Nonsense, there's no such thing. So that poor man over there is a victim of your brand of police brutality. All right, 6 months, let that be a lesson to you and I'll be glad to see the back of you. Next! It's not us, it's the public police. They've been hitting Mr. Slack with French sticks. So you as well, and you're in the gendarmes, are you? Well, 5 months for you, as you don't get on my nerves quite as much.
No, Your Honour, these 2 are good upstanding citizens, helping me in my hour of need. It's the others, the Metropolitan Police. They're the villains.
Can't I send them to jail anyway? No, it can't be the Metropolitan Police. They're a fine bunch of lads. They wouldn't do anything like that. Poppycock. It was probably your own fault. What were you doing?
Nothing. I was walking down the pavement and I trod in some chewing gum and the police thought it was super glue and I got stuck to the pavement, but it was an accident. It's not my fault. I've got a lazy thigh and I'm naturally floppy.
Oh, just because you're called Mr. Slack, you can't go flopping around in any old haphazard manner. Shoulders back, a straight spine, and keep your chin up.
Well, unfortunately, the police thought I was going limp on purpose to make it difficult for them to carry me off, but my foot was stuck to the floor, and then the elastic in my shorts suddenly went...
Yes. You're a litany of small disasters waiting to happen, aren't you, Mr. Slack? So by your own admissions, you're exposing yourself. I think you got away lightly with a bit of French stick, don't you, Sergeant Thompson? Yes, Judge See-Through. I think a few whacks with a French stick was what he deserved. I've met his sort before, pretending he trod in some chewing gum. I should cocoa. I also heard that a police constable ricked his back so badly trying to pick up Mr. Slack, he's going to be off on full pay for the next 6 months. Poor fellow, and clearly a dedicated officer. A great loss to the force. There, Slack, look what you've done. Wait a minute, Judge See-Through. Slack's still got the chewing gum on the sole of his shoe. That's proof. Here it is. Oh, I've got it stuck on me hand now. What do you mean it's super glue, Sid? Put that disgusting stuff away, you two. Stop playing with it. And you, Slack, you can go. I'm rejecting your compensation claim.
I'm sorry, Your Honour. I can't get down. I'm stuck in the witness box. I must still have some chewing gum on me, but...
You can't be. I've got 3 more cases. Wait a minute. I'll get some policemen to carry you out. Right-o, Your Honour. Well, thank heavens we all got free in the end, apart from Sid, who's still there, I think. It's his fault for putting super glue on the chewing gum. But we'll chalk it down to experience. We're still finding our feet in the new exciting world of private policing. Only on this occasion our feet were stuck to the floor. Join us next week for more adventures of Hancock's Heroes.